Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Vin Martin Obiora Ilo. In the headlines, NNPCL opens reserves across the country to end lingering scarcity of fuel. Southeast governors evolve measures to check insecurity and cross-border crime. Plans in top gear to immortalize late music legend Celestine Oko. On the foreign scene, Palestinians look through the rubble of a building destroyed on Sunday after an Israeli airstrike. And in sports, Team Nigeria books places at the Paris Olympics in the mixed 4x400 meters relay and 4x400 meters men's events. Now, details of the news. Petroleum marketers have said the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has opened its reserves across the Federation to end the lingering fuel scarcity. The national president of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Hamid Fashola, and Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Healy Harry, disclosed this in separate statements after meeting with NNPCL on Saturday. Fashola said his members will meet on Monday to join NNPLC to end the fuel scarcity. He further urged Nigerians not to engage in panic buying of fuel as the product will be available nationwide. On his part, Healy Harris said the meeting between NNPLC and marketers had helped present a solution to the fuel scarcity, saying that queues have started easing off in Abuja. Following the recent brutal attack on a female nurse, the activities of masquerades have been suspended indefinitely in the 9 communities that make up Nsukka town in Enugu State. The nurse who was heading for duty was last Saturday beaten to a pulp by a herd of masquerades at the University of Nigeria town of Nsukka, a development that attracted condemnations from all quarters. At a meeting summoned by the Nsukka Town Federated Union and attended by the Oha Nsukka, the Akporoaro Nsukka, the Igwes, the PGs of the 9 autonomous communities, and the youths, it was resolved that the operations of masquerades were banned indefinitely. The suspension is to enable the Council of Elders conclude on the assault on the nurse, Miss Blessing Ogbonna, and come up with modalities on the Oriokpa masquerade operation. The meeting requested all security agencies to help the town enforce the decision, while further developments will be duly communicated. Governors of the 5 Southeast states are thinking outside the box on how to tackle insecurity and cross-border crimes in the region. The plans came to light at a public lecture organized by the Nnamdi Azikiwe University in honor of Emeritus Professor Peter Ejiofor. Signature TV was there.
Governors of the 5 Southeast states are mapping out a central control system against crime and general insecurity in the region. This will ensure that anybody who commits any crime in any of the states cannot cross over to any neighboring state to take cover. This was disclosed by the Director General of Southeast Governors Forum, an immediate past senator that represented Anambra Central, Uche Ekwunife, at a lecture organized by the Faculty of Management Sciences of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, in honor of Emeritus Professor Peter Ejiofor. Ekwunife said that the Southeast governors are also coming up with an improved form of the Igbo apprenticeship scheme known as Egba Boy as a way of reducing crime and empowering more Igbo youths. She extolled the foresight of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Michael Okpara, and other compatriots of the then Eastern region who designed a robust plan for massive industrialization of the East even before independence. The immediate past Nigerian ambassador to Burundi, Elijah Onyagba, said Igbos should endeavor to package and promote their places of historical and cultural significance to attract tourists and international relevance. Onyagba observed that Nigerians in diaspora appreciate the realm of cultural diplomacy more than those at home, whom he accused of taking the indigenous language, mode of dressing, and cultural artifacts for granted.
When I was serving in Bujumbura, I figured that the country, a lot of their citizens spend time in sports. So I decided that every Nigerian day, which is 1st October, we're going to organize what I called Run Buja, which is basically run around Buju. So we'll put up prices, we've got sponsors to be able to be doing the event. So every day, every night, in fact, the country always look forward to participating in that event. Just number one is that it is something that they love to do. Number two is that it's also something that enables me keep Nigeria in the memory of everyone that is in Burundi.
Reacting to the lecture, Professor Ejiofor, who was represented by daughter Chizoba Ene, appreciated the organizers, the university community, as well as the guest lecturer and other guests for honoring her father. The event had the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Charles Ezimone, in attendance, with the Dean, Faculty of Management Sciences, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Professor Pius Okoye as host, while the book on Peter Ejiofor, called Visionaries of Change, was reviewed by Professor Ezimma Nabife.
A former Nigerian Minister of Education and 2023 governorship candidate in Delta State, Kenneth Gbagi, has died at 62. A statement by his eldest son, Emuobo Gbagi, confirmed his death in a statement on Saturday, saying the family take comfort in the fond memories of his life, achievements, and the impact he made on countless individuals and communities. He requested for prayers for the family during this challenging time of loss, while praying for the repose of his soul. Gbagi was the governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party in the last election in Delta State and lost to Governor Sheriff Oborowori of the People's Democratic Party PDP at the 2023 governorship election in Delta State. Prominent members of the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP in Ebonyi State have defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. Among them are a former member representing Abakaliki Izi Federal Constituency and former governorship aspirant in the 2023 general elections, Sylvester Ogbaga, former senator and ex-member National Working Committee of the PDP, Sylvanus Nguji Ngele, and other executive members of the party. The defection ceremony took place at the Abakaliki local government area headquarters in Kaliki on Saturday. Speaking at the event, the two former PDP members said their major reason for dumping the PDP was that the party was unable to produce a governor from Izi clan, which APC was able to achieve in line with the existing Charter of Equity in Ebonyi State. They stated that the present administration, led by Francis Nwifuru, anchored on People's Charter of Needs, was the main reason to join forces with the ruling party to bring more dividends of democracy to the people of Ebonyi State. Receiving the decampees, some members of the APC, including the National Treasurer, Chief Matthew Ogoro, the APC State Chairman Stanley Emega, and the Executive Chairman of Abakaliki Local Government Area, Stephen Nwogba, commended them for their bold steps and encouraged them to go to their various wards to obtain their membership cards. Some members of the PDP in Abakaliki local government, including the member representing the people of Abakaliki North in the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Victor Nwoke, were received into the APC family last Monday during the visit of Mrs. Mary Maudlin Nwifuru, wife of the governor. Bandits have killed 3 officials of the Zamfara State-owned Community Protection Guard CPG. A counterinsurgency expert and security analyst in Lake Chad, Zago Zola Maradun, disclosed that they were ambushed and killed at Jambako area of Maradun local government area of the state. In a post on his X on Sunday, Zaga Zola said a source identified as Sanusi Muhammad narrated that the bandits ambushed the CPG officials at Tunga Nayasega on their way to Faru town, adding that the bandits also took away their weapons and bikes. The attack has generated tension and fear among the residents in the area. Plans are underway to immortalize the high life legend Celestine Oku, who died on 7th May 1977. The plans were unveiled by his daughter Cynthia Oku when she paid a visit to the Enugu headquarters of Signaturetv. Entertainment correspondent Jude Ozioko had a chat with Cynthia and now reports.
The daughter of High Life legend Celestine Ukwu, Cynthia Ukwu, has set up a foundation called Celestine Ukwu Foundation to immortalize his late father and his legacy. The 47th memorial anniversary, which is scheduled for May 7, 2024, will take place at Oakland Event Center, Enugu. Cynthia, who was still in her mother's womb when the father passed on in 1977, paid a visit to the Enugu headquarters of Signaturetv, during which she spoke on the motivation behind the project.
A whole lot of things, most of which is to immortalize him, to keep his memory alive. He has done a great works. So I don't want his memory to lie low. I want to keep his name in the minds of everybody. And I'm going to work hard to see that those virtues that he held very strongly, that I activate them and try to make people to walk by them too.
Cynthia also spoke of plans to digitalize Celestine Ukwu's songs to ensure that the present and future generations have access to the great works of the late legend and help in building positive virtues in them using various digital platforms.
I am in contact with the recording company, and together we have started talking about ways to get every track out there so that people, especially the Gen Z world, the Gen Z generation, can start listening to those music that will better their lives, music that have the right lessons, the right virtues that will help them, like change their way of thinking now, because we know what is happening in the society.
The founder of the Celestine Ukwu Foundation urged people to come out en masse to the event as one way of celebrating the High Life maestro. Cynthia Ukwu shared her love for music with Signaturetv's entertainment correspondent Jude Ozioko as she gave a rendition of one of her father's tracks titled Awanwa.
Ọnwụnwa bịa ọ dịka ụwa gasịa, onye nwere ndidi ejesi ọ ga-adị mma. Ọnwụnwa bịa ọ dịka ụwa gasịa, ọnwụnwa bịa ọ bụla ọlụ ekwensu.
A renowned gospel artist, Bidemi Olaoba, has apologized to white garment churches following a video that sparked controversy on social media platforms. Olaoba, in an interview with Pastor Leke Adeboye during a TV live show tagged Confession Box with PLA, said he can never perform in a church where they use scents and burn incense. According to him, the reason he will never accept to perform in any white garment church is because of the usage of candles, perfumes, and some other spiritual materials during prayers and services. But in his apologies, Olaoba emphasized his belief in the universality of the gospel and expressed regret for any misunderstanding caused by his previous remarks. Olaoba clarified that the church mentioned in the video was not a white garment church, despite misconceptions, and urged viewers to watch the full video on YouTube to grasp the context accurately. Highlighting his connections with the Celestial Church of Christ, Olaoba stressed his respect for the body of Christ and acknowledged his performance at the Lolly Concert, a significant event organized by the CCC. Immediately after his interview went viral, stakeholders in the Celestial Church of Christ worldwide reacted and condemned his comment, while some youths of the church asked members to unfollow the gospel musician on social media. And now to the foreign scene. Palestinians looked through the rubble of the destroyed Al-Shia family home in the southern Gaza city of Rafah on Sunday after an Israeli airstrike hit a building and the surrounding area overnight. Arif al-Shah, who lost his house in the airstrike, said he feared the world was under the false impression that Rafah was safe, saying nothing has happened even after announcements in the Security Council. Hamas leaders were holding a second day of truce talks with Egyptian and Qatari mediators on Sunday, with no apparent progress reported, as the Islamist group maintained its demand that any agreement must end the war in Gaza, Palestinian officials said. As the talks were ongoing, residents and health officials said Israeli planes and tanks continued to pound areas across the Palestinian enclave overnight, killing and wounding several people. Police have arrested at least 25 pro-Palestinian protesters and cleared an encampment at the University of Virginia, UVA, the university, as U.S. campuses braced for more turmoil during graduation celebrations. Tensions flared at UVA's campus in Charlottesville, where protests had been largely peaceful until Saturday morning, when police officers in riot gear were seen in a video moving on an encampment on the campus lawn and using what appeared to be chemical spray. The University of Virginia said in a news release that protesters had violated several university policies, including setting up tents on Friday night and using amplified sound. Students across the U.S. have rallied or set up tents at dozens of universities to protest the months-long war in Gaza and call on President Joe Biden, who has supported Israel, to do more to stop the bloodshed in Gaza. They also demand their schools divest from companies that support Israel's government, such as arms suppliers. Troops marched in and fighters' jets flew over Moscow on Sunday during a rehearsal for the World War II anniversary parade. President Vladimir Putin is expected to lead Victory Day events in Moscow on Thursday this week, marking the 79th anniversary of the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany. This year, same as the last and 2022, the parade will be held amid conflict in Ukraine, which Russia calls a special military operation. Since 2008, Victory Day parades have become a muscular display not only of marching battalions, but also of Russia's latest weaponry, including warplanes, tanks, nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missiles. President Volodymyr Zelensky has called on his fellow Ukrainians on Orthodox Easter Sunday to unite in prayer for each other and the soldiers on the front line, saying that God, who has a Ukrainian flag on his shoulder, will lead the life defeating death. Zelensky, dressed in a traditional embroidered Ukrainian shirt and his typical khaki pants, spoke in a lyrical video address standing in front of the 1,000-year-old Saint Sophia Cathedral in Kyiv. Orthodox Christians, including the Orthodox Church in Ukraine and Russia, celebrate Easter this weekend, while most Western churches observe the major holiday on March 31st. Tens of thousands have been killed and millions driven from their homes since Putin ordered the invasion of Russia's smaller neighbor in February 2022. The war, now in its third year, has no end in sight. Now to a little bit of sports. Lionel Messi had an MLS record 6-goal contribution. Luis Suarez scored 3 times, and Matthias Rogers recorded a brace as Inter Miami thumped the New York Red Bulls 6-2 on Saturday, May 4, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Messi was named MLS Player of the Month for the month of April, scored once and added 5 assists as Miami extended its unbeaten streak to 6 matches and improved to 6-0-2 in league matches in which Messi has appeared in. The loss snapped New York's 6-match unbeaten streak. Dante Van Zer and Emil Forsberg had the goals for the Red Bulls, would drop to 6-4-0 in regular season play against Miami. Miami scored twice in a 2-minute span early in the second half to erase a 1-0 deficit. Rogers was brought on for David Ruiz to start the second half and immediately made an impact, leveling the score at 1-1 in the 48th minute by putting a left-footed strike past a leaping Carlos Coronel. Messi picked up an assist on the goal. Then in the 50th minute, Messi put a left-footed strike off a Suarez pass into the back of the net for his 10th goal of the season. The Argentine has goals in his past 7 league matches. Miami took a 3-1 lead in the 62nd minute as Rogers put a Messi through ball up and over Coronel. Real Madrid won La Liga on Saturday after beating Cadiz 3-0 before Girona defeated last year's champions Barcelona 4-2 to seal Los Blancos' triumph. Carlo Ancelotti side did their homework against the Andalusian stragglers to virtually guarantee a record-extending 36th Spanish title, confirmed when Barcelona dropped points at Montilivi. Girona's dramatic victory saw the Catalan Minos qualify for the Champions League for the first time in their history. Brahim Diaz netted in the 51st minute to put Madrid ahead and then set up Jude Bellingham for the second, with Joselu tapping home a third to leave Madrid on the cusp of the title. Ancelotti played a heavily rotated side ahead of the Champions League semi-finals second leg against Bayern Munich on Wednesday. The coach selected only captain Nacho Fernandez from the starting lineup that ended a 2-2 draw in Bavaria this week. And Team Nigeria has booked places at the Paris Olympics in the mixed 4x400 meters relay and 4x400 meters men's events. The two relay teams early Sunday morning secured automatic qualification spots at the ongoing world relays in the Bahamas. Finishing second in their heat, the quartet of Samuel Ogazi, Ella Onajuvewo, Chidi Okezie, and Esther Elo Joseph ensured Nigeria's presence on the Olympic stage again for the mixed relay. The men's 4x100 meters team, consisting of Udodi Onwuzurike, Consider Ekanem, Alaba Akintola, and Sheye Ogunlewe, finished fourth in the heat. Unfortunately, due to visa issues and last-minute injuries, Team Nigeria was unable to compete in the heat 4 of the women's 4x400 meters race. At the World Athletics Relays Bahamas 24, the top 14 teams in each relay event automatically qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The remaining 2 slots in each relay discipline will be awarded based on the top rankings during the qualification period 31st December 2022 to 30th June 2024. And that's our package. I am Vin Martin Obiora Ilo. Thanks for watching.